When I reach Jimmy Carter's grandson by Zoom, he answers wearing a Raphael Warnock campaign t-shirt. Jason Carter is a lawyer and politician himself, mid-40s, animated and well-read, with blue eyes reminiscent of his grandfather's. He's just got off the phone with his 93-year-old grandmother, Rosalynn. It's a special day. Joe Biden is on his way to the Carter house in Plains, Georgia. My grandfather has met nearly everyone in the world he might want to, Jason Carter says. Right now, he's meeting with the President of the United States. But the person he'd say he learned the most from was Rachel Clark, an illiterate sharecropper who lived on his family's farm. He didn't pity her, Carter says. He saw her power. My grandfather believes in the power of a single human and a small community. Protect people's freedoms, he says, and they can do great things. It all comes back to an enormous respect for human beings. Carter is openly moved speaking about his grandfather, though it's also clear he does so often. A spate of recent biographies and documentaries shows not just a renewed interest in the former president, but a willingness to update the public narrative surrounding his time in office. Recent biographer Jonathan Alter calls Carter, perhaps the most misunderstood president in American history. Carter, who lost his bid for re-election in a so-called landslide to Reagan in 1980, is often painted as a failed president, a hapless peanut farmer who did not understand how to get things done in Washington, and whose administration was marked by inflation, an energy crisis and the Iran hostage disaster. Subsequent presidents, especially fellow Southern Democrat Bill Clinton, kept a distance, assumably not wanting to be seen as part of a political narrative that emphasized piety over getting things done. Even Obama was apparently wary of being associated with the sort of soft-hearted ineffectuality ascribed to Carter. But was Carter actually so ineffectual? In his 2020 biography of Carter, Alter speaks to a more nuanced interpretation of Carter, calling him a surprisingly consequential president, a political and stylistic failure, but a substantive and far-sighted success. It is, perhaps, the far-sighted nature of Carter's ambitions, particularly around energy, that allows us to appreciate him more 4 decades after his term concluded. Born in 1924, Carter is now 96. Americans must process his mortality and the onset of climate change, which Carter explicitly warned the nation about 40 years ago. Carterland, a just-released documentary, offers a particularly sharp focus on Carter's extensive work on conservation, climate and justice. Here's what people get wrong about Carter, Will Pattiz, one of the film's directors tells me.